Hi again, everybody. Back with our producer, director Arnie Harris and Steve Stone. I'm Tom Brenneman back at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Cubs fell behind 2-0, but given an extra out, they tied the game in the bottom of the third at 2-2.
So far, Mike Harkey has thrown a couple of long balls, but he hasn't walked anybody before he's thrown the home run. And the Cubs all tied up. And Tommy, this should be a pretty good series for them.
Well, this is a series the Cubs figure to win. They've done that in each of the first two series of this 10-game homestand. 2 out of 3 against San Diego. Won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, and now the Pirates in for the opener of a 4-game set. Orlando Merced to begin things and takes a pitch inside from Harkey. 2 balls and a strike. Merced, as many of you know by now, was a switch hitter, but has gone exclusively from the left side. In the last, couple of months, he decided on the 9th of May that he would go strictly left-handed, forget about batting right-handed. His average has been above 340 since the 27th of April. And against left-handers, when he's faced them anyway, he's hit 333. So he's done pretty well. Very well. Having by far and away his best major league season. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Talk with Jim Leland about Andy Van Slyke and when he'll return, and they thought he'd be back for this series, but then he had knee surgery, coming back from a shoulder problem, and now he's at least a couple of weeks away.
Little roller Sandberg's way, and he'll throw out Merced to begin the 4th. You know, when Van Slyke was still playing, the Pirates were only a game under 500, and that's where they thought they might finish this season, despite the fact that they had many rookies on the team. A few second-year players, a very young pitching staff, and you'd have to say that would have been quite an accomplishment to finish 500, where they start as many as 4, 5, even 6 rookies at a time. They're 11 games under without Van Slyke, and you have to believe there's a chance when everybody comes back that they could still be a 500 ball club. And that really is a good season. Minus Barry Bonds and Doug Drabek, Bonilla and Smiley from a couple of years ago. Jose leaned.
And another factor, as you see the standings as of August 2nd of last year. And of course, the Pirate team then pretty much intact. Right now, a lot of departures from that team. The Pirates were 2 games up, and now they find themselves 19.5 games back.
Jeff King dumps it out of play. Count staying at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Tommy, another ramification of the Pirates. When they were 1 game under, you mentioned Andy Van Slyke went down. They were drawing very well in Pittsburgh at the time. But now, as you know, Pittsburgh being a football town, and with the Steelers and the University of Pittsburgh dominating the sport pages, the attendance at Three Rivers Stadium well down the last 2-3 weeks.
2-2 to Jeff King. And we show you last year the Cubs at 3 games under 500, but look at that, only 6 games out of first. This year they're 6 games better in terms of record, 3 over, but better than double the amount of games behind in the standings. That's how good Philadelphia has been basically since opening day.
And normally in the National League East at this time, if you're 3 games over, you are right in the thick of the race, and nobody believed any team could jump out like Philadelphia.
That ball hammered down the left field line. King will make the turn and try for second base. Derek May going to throw in there, but it's offline, and King in with a double. 3rd Pirate hit, and all 3 have been for extra bases. The other 2 were home runs.
Jim Leland likens Jeff King to Kevin McReynolds as far as disposition. This is not a fiery player, but he is a good, solid player. And given a chance to play third base every day, this year he's responded. That batting average has been around 300 most of this season. 22 doubles, a pretty good amount for Jeff King. And Jim Leland said that Jeff King is one of the better third basemen in the league, despite the fact that he's made 15 errors this year.
So a 2-2 game. The go-ahead run is at second. There's a single into center. They're going to hold the runner at third, and that's the kind of respect these days that Sammy Sosa has earned with that arm of his, regardless of whether he's in center or in right.
Rich Donnelly, the third base coach, knows that you're not going to run on Sammy Sosa, not when the ball is hit that hard. And Sammy does hit the cutoff man, Mark Grace, and this is a pretty good idea for all you young center fielders. When you have a situation where you know the man is not going, hit the cutoff man as the first baseman comes across, because if you throw through and the ball gets away at all from the catcher, the trailer on the play moves into second base and you take yourself out of a double play situation. So a good throw by Sammy Sosa. And runners at the corners.
Here's Al Martin. He homered to right center field back in the second inning and looks at a breaking ball inside. Harkey has been a much better nighttime pitcher than he has during the day. In fact, the Cubs as a whole can make a strong case for more night baseball. They are 6 games over under the lights. They are 3 games under during the day. And Harkey, boy, a dramatic difference in terms of his numbers. There you see it during the nighttime. Very impressive ERA. Almost double that during the daylight hours.
Well, the Cubs had one of their members knighted before the game, Tommy. Rick Wilkins. And as the saying goes, once a king, always a king, but once a knight is certainly enough.
Another quote to write down on this, the 2nd of August, 1993. Martin did not think much of that call by Charlie Relaford. He thought the ball not only inside but also low. We'll take one more look. You be the judge.
Wilkins wants it inside. Harkey gets it inside. And a good solid strike if Mickey Rooney's hitting.
Fouled back by Martin. Yeah, you short guys always picking on other people.
Oh, it's another you short guys joke.
Yeah, I noticed you were up on your tiptoes when we went for the on camera, seeing if I would pick it up or not. Runners on the corners, 1 man out. 2-2 to Martin, and now it's full. Yeah, you can never sneak one by the young right-hander.
And now we'll see just what Billy Connors is going to do as far as the sign is concerned. And let's see if Dave Clark is going.
He's not. And it's hit down the left field line, but slicing foul.
The Pirates had a great month of July running the bases. They were 28 for 39 in stolen base attempts. That's 72%, and that's usually well above the league average. Now, when your leading home run man has just 7 home runs, and that's what Jim Leland has with his ball club, no power at all, you have got to run.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and the double fake. I'm not sure that there wasn't a missed sign right there, just looking at Leland's reaction, pointing at the runner over at first.
I assume that he wants Clark to go to stay out of the double play.
Not going again, but it's ball 4, so they're loaded up. Harkey has walked his 2nd man of the game. And now this 2-2 game very much in jeopardy with Don Slaught coming up.
Well, Slaught is one of the best clutch hitters on this team and has been ever since he donned his Pirate uniform from the Yankees. But he has grounded into 9 double plays. That's 2nd on the team behind Jeff King. So if Mike Harkey can get a ground ball, he can get out of the inning. The infield halfway, they're looking for 2. And Slaught is a very fine hitter.
This could be 2. They're going to have to hurry. Oh, Vizcaino bobbled. They don't get anybody. So a 3-2 Pirate lead on an error by Vizcaino. He must have been thinking double play before he fielded cleanly.
That's the 11th error of the year for Jose Vizcaino, and Harkey does the job with the slider outside. He gets the ground ball with the slow running Slot. Not only does Jose drop it, when he picks it up, he has the play at first, but then he bobbles that, and everybody is safe.
So each team able to get on a run due to a defensive error. They're still loaded with 1 out for Bullitt, and he pops it up. Foul ground. Wilkins over near the dugout, but runs out of room.
Mike Harkey took a tumble almost. Looks like he caught his spikes and went flying into the wall, but he's okay.
Well, Jimmy Leland and Rich Donnelly, as you get one more look at Harkey, nearly falling as he got near the stands, catching his ankle there by the railing. But Leland and Donnelly were saying these are the kind of positions that have cost the Pirates a number of very close games. They feel like they've been in most of the games they played despite a less than 500 record. Wait a minute here. They're going to have to look at Harkey.
Well, he caught his spike, and hopefully Mike Harkey will be okay. As you know, this man has been hurt quite a bit, but apparently he is all right. And talking with Steve Blass, who does the broadcast for the Pirates, and I asked him about his team, he said, we're in a streak where The opposition gets 5, we get 4. If they get 3, we get 2. And he said every time the bases are loaded, we ground into a double play. And the same thing would have held true. They would have had a good shot at the double play, but Jose couldn't come up with the ground ball. So now it's up to Mike Harkey to pitch through the air and put the defensive lapse out of his mind.
Bases loaded, 1 out, and it's hit hard into left center field. This will get in a run. Sosa makes a play. Tagging and coming in from third is Dave Clark. Throw into third and held by Sosa for whatever reason. 2-run score.
Sammy just forgot about the fact, Tommy, there was only 1 out.
I don't know. Sosa pointing at the scoreboard, but that's not what he should be worried about. They had put up the second out before he caught the ball, but Sammy's got to know better than this. A defensive lapse, a mental lapse, and 2-run score.
And here's Sammy going into somewhat of a trot, not realizing that the runners are still going, and here they come. So 2 runs driven in on a sacrifice fly.
There are not 3 outs in this inning.
There's only 2 outs.
Merced started the inning with a ground ball to second base. King doubled, Clark singled, Martin walked. They got an error by Slaught allowing 1 run in, and now a 2-run sac fly RBI by Scott Bullitt, which is the second out of the inning.
I can't believe Jim Lefevre's coming out to argue. He might have lost track of the outs also. The umpires might have lost track of the outs.
I mean, I can't even believe this argument's taking place. Leland feels the same way. He's just saying, you got to be kidding me.
Well, Jim Leland knows how many outs there are. Jim Lefevre doesn't. Sammy Sosa certainly didn't. And when you lose track of the outs in the major leagues, and you can look up at that board till the cows come home, you got to figure out that you made a mistake. Let's get on with the inning and see if we can get through this one. But the Pirates have scored 3 runs, and most of the Cub team fell asleep,
including that man, Sammy Sosa. So 3 runs in the inning, 1 on an error, the other legitimately scored on a sac fly RBI. But then Sosa, thinking it was a 3rd out rather than a 2nd, just held onto the ball and heads up base running by Martin to score all the way from second base. So here's Wagner with Slaught at first, 2 men out, and a 5-2 Pirate lead.
Been a long time since we've seen 2 guys score on a routine fly ball to center field. Now Steve Buechele talking it over with Paul Runge, the third base umpire. Mike Harkey now wanting to talk it over with Charlie Relaford.
Harkey going to work. 1-0 on Wagner, and it's lifted into right. Roberson breaks back, time to come in, and that will end the inning. So the Pirates get 3 runs on 2 hits, an error, and 1 left. Middle of the 4th, 5-2 Pirate lead.
Join the men and women patrolling our nation's highways.
Have the right to remain silent.
From high-speed chases and aerial pursuits to drive-by shootings and interstate smash-ups.
I wish the public knew how much more trouble they cause by looking.
Ride along with the action in an explosive new series that puts you behind the wheel 5 nights a week.
Get out of that car! Don't sit there and get killed!
Real stories of the Highway Patrol.
Tonight at 6:30 on WGN Channel 9.
Thank you. To all of you attracted by Buick's reputation for quality, but who think a new Buick is beyond your means, may I make the following suggestion? Go see the new Buick Skylark Custom. It is every bit a quality Buick. And as the most affordable Buick for $1993, it makes Buick quality more attractive than ever.
When it comes to bringing in the freshest food possible, the people at Baker's Square are truly driven, so don't miss our latest fresh idea. For a limited time, we've got grilled chicken sandwiches, steak sandwiches, even burgers, 13 complete meals with fries and pie, starting at $5.95 at lunch and $6.95 at dinner with soup or salad. Baker's Square. Nobody goes further for fresh.
If you like baseball cards, you'll love Card Baseball, the new baseball board game that brings your cards to life. You'll use the stats from your favorite cards. It's fun, easy to play, and perfect for anyone 8 years and up.
Available at participating Osco stores.
Well, we head for the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Cubs mentally and physically contributing to the 3 runs allowed by the right-hander Mike Harkey in the fourth inning. What would have been a double play ball bobbled by Vizcaíno, allowing 1 run to score, and then on a sac fly to left center. Sosa thought when he caught it, it was out number 3. Instead, 1 scored, and then Al Martin raced in from second base, making it 2 on a routine sac fly to left center.
Look at Rick Wilkins, who's had somewhat of a tough day with a couple of strikeouts. And the Cubs have dug themselves a hole, but still plenty of time to come back as we're only in the bottom of the 4th.
It'll be the latter third, Sosa, Roberson, and Mike Harkey. And here's a look one more time. The ball goes into the air with the bases loaded. Sosa calling off Derek May, and there you see it. He was headed back for the dugout. Derek May clearly pointing, saying, get the ball back in. By the time Sosa realized it, Martin, right there in your picture, raced all the way from second base. Delivery. Sammy a swing and a miss. 1 ball 1 strike. Sosa singled, stole a base, scored the first Cub run back in the second inning. You know, another strange part about that play right at the end of your picture right there, the throw from Sosa went into second base, or actually Grace cut it off then through to second. That was Scott Bullitt sliding headfirst into the second base bag. He must have thought that the ball had dropped. Don Slaught was standing behind him over at first base. Sosa out of there on strikes. Wagner threw the heat right by him. Take a look at this. After the throw is cut off by Mark Grace, he's going to throw to the second base bag. Don Slaught is standing at first, and Bullitt head first slide in the second, thinking he's going in there for a double. Take a look at this.
Well, this could have been an unusual play, Tommy, because we could have seen a guy make 2 outs on the same play because Bullitt is already retired. He's safe at second, but of course it doesn't count.
There's a base hit into right field by Kevin Roberson. Here are the 2 runners at first. Bullitt hit the ball. He's in front of Slaught. And he's going into second. Thought the ball was dropped or something.
Of course, he's safe at second, but he's been out quite a while by that point. Interesting play. So, Tommy, you see something new in baseball every day.
Here's Harkey. He struck out his first time up. Cubs down 5-2, and Harkey lays down a beautiful bunt. Orlando Merced will throw on to Garcia. And Harkey getting the sacrifice. As advancing on to second, it's Kevin Roberson. For Harkey, that's his 3rd sacrifice this year.
This is really a big week in the National League East, because if St. Louis is going to make a move, this is a golden opportunity for them. They're entertaining the Florida Marlins at home. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Phillies tomorrow will go to Atlanta to face a red-hot Braves ball club. And of course, if St. Louis can dominate Florida at home, then they have to turn their eyes toward Atlanta and hope that Atlanta can remain hot and knock off Philadelphia to somewhat derail them.
Conversely, in the National League West picture, the Giants will face San Diego, who you figure they'll pound away on, although you never know, while the Braves have to face a very good Philadelphia team, so they might be able to open up some ground. This will end the inning. Down on one knee, Clark having to battle his son, and that'll do it. They hit a man left through 4, Pirates 5, Cubs 2.